Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my match reaction for the Istanbul Basaksehir Manchester United game. So yesterday night it ended Istanbul Basaksehir 2, Manchester United 1 in the Champions League group stage. It's Istanbul Basaksehir's first ever win in the Champions League. Because obviously they lost their first two games in the group stage against RB Leipzig and PSG. And they were formed in 1990. They won the Turkish League last season. And at the moment, they're currently sitting 7th. It's our first defeat in the group stage because we'd won our first two games against PSG and RB Leipzig. And it's our second defeat in a row. Lost to Istanbul Basaksehir and also lost to Arsenal at Old Trafford. But yeah, this is very, very embarrassing from a Manchester United perspective. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken responsibility for the unforgivable defending for Demba Ba's goal. And Solskjaer's taken a risk on his future after his dubious decisions. Now, yesterday made around 6 changes from the 1-0 defeat to Arsenal. Now, we saw Dean Henderson obviously making his Champions League debut. He started in goal. Dean Henderson couldn't really do all to prevent both of Istanbul Basaksehir's goals. To be honest with you, didn't really have much to do. Bruno Fernandes, he was the worst player I thought for Manchester United. He was dispossessed around 34 times in the game. Probably the worst game he's had so far in a Manchester United shirt. And I think he was accountable for Istanbul Basaksehir's second goal. There's been a few games where Bruno Fernandes has looked off the pace, but in the vast majority of his games at Manchester United, he's been consistent, hasn't he? He has endured around 9 months or so now at the football club. I thought his deliveries from set pieces were poor as well. Now, Wan-Bissaka, I thought he was another one that had a very, very poor game. Wan-Bissaka, his crossing was poor, his positioning was poor, and I thought he was poor on the ball. I don't think Wan-Bissaka was too good against Arsenal, to be honest with you, but in his last 4 games prior to the Arsenal one, I thought he was very, very consistent. Axel Tuanzebe, I thought he had a very, very poor game. He was accountable for Istanbul Basaksehir's first goal. And I expected a better performance from Axel Tuanzebe because Axel Tuanzebe did very, very well in the PSG game. And that game against PSG was his first start for Man United in 10 months, wasn't it? Harry Maguire, I thought he was very, very poor. Luke Shaw, very, very poor. Wasn't that good. Well, he did put some crosses in the first half, but I thought he lacked that attacking intent. Nemanja Matic, I thought his hold-up play was okay at times in the game. He was easily beaten for Demba first goal, so he wasn't great either. Donny van der Beek, he started the game yesterday. He wasn't that good either, Donny van der Beek. Thought he lacked that creativity. I was very frustrated when he got taken off the pitch. I think a lot of Manchester United fans were, but yeah, it was his second start in the Champions League for Man United. Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the football club. There's a few people that think Donny van der Beek is not wanted at Manchester United. Obviously, Ollie was talking about him prior to the Leipzig game. And said that he'll play a big part this year and he will be an important player. And he responded to the criticism of the use of Donny van der Beek. You know, we paid 40 million for him from Ajax. And he signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year. Now, Marcus Rashford, I thought he was poor as well. His runs on off the ball were poor. Couldn't really create any space. And I don't think Rashford was too good against Arsenal either. But obviously he was good in the RB Leipzig game because obviously he got a hat-trick. He became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. He also scored the late winner in Paris, and that was the second time he'd done that. He has done well under Ollie, but last couple of games now hasn't been so good. And I think he will be frustrated with himself. Juan Mata, I thought he was also very, very quiet in the game. I did say, didn't I, Juan Mata would have been involved yesterday. But in the game, a lot of games Juan Mata's played in this season, I think he's done well. You know, he did well in both our Cowbell Cup games against Luton and Brighton. He also did well in the Newcastle game. You know, Juan Mata's enjoyed a good 6 years or so now at Manchester United. Anthony Martial, obviously he scored our goal. It was very, very good header, by the way, from Anthony Martial. But I don't think he had a great game. I didn't think he got a lot of service. Hold-up play wasn't too good either. Anthony Martial's. Luke Shaw, by the way, got the assist for Anthony Martial's goal. Ollie brought all 5 substitutions on. Paul Pogba came on, didn't he, in the game. He didn't make an impact when he came on either. Struggling at the moment. Scott McTominay, where he came on as well, he weren't too good. Edison Cavani, I don't think he was too good when he came on. That was his 4th substitute appearance for Manchester United. Has not yet started for the club, Edison Cavani. Mason Greenwood, he also came on in the game. And we brought someone else on. So yeah, Istanbul Basaksehir, they deserved the win. They really, really did. I thought they played well. Demba Ba's goal came from, obviously, a breakaway. It came from a corner, didn't it? Obviously, Edin Visca scored Istanbul Basaksehir's 2nd goal. And like I said to you on the preview, Edin Visca, he's one of their key players. Edin Visca has been at Istanbul Basaksehir now for over 9 years, hasn't he? And he's made over 300 appearances for them in all competitions. He also got an assist, didn't he, I think, in the game, Edin Visca. We saw Rafael de Silva playing for Istanbul Basaksehir, so he was reuniting with Manchester United. I thought Rafael made some very, very good blocks in the game. Defensively did well. Rafael used to play for us. You know, he endured around 7 years with us, and he played around 170 games for Man United. Martin Skirtle was obviously playing. He's a former Premier League player. Chadley, he wasn't available. He was out with injury, but he's a former Premier League player. So, yeah. I read one of the stats of the game, and it says we only had 2 shots on target. Now, might as well get into the player ratings while I'm on this video. So, Dean Henderson, he's going to get a 6. Like I said, couldn't really do nothing for either goal, but didn't really have much to do, apart from take the ball out of his net twice. And Wan-Bissaka, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. Like I said, his crossing was poor, his positioning was poor in the final third, and very poor on the ball. Harry Maguire, he's going to get a 4 out of 10. Tuanzebe, he's going to get a 3 out of 10. Like I said, he was at fault for the first goal. Luke Shaw, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. Yeah, he did get the assist for Martial's goal, and he put quite a few crosses in, but like I said, lacked that attacking intent and was caught off guard a few times. Nemanja Matic, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. Hold-up play good at times, but wasn't really that good on the ball. Didn't really get forward enough. So, yeah. Donny van der Beek, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. Couldn't really create any space. I thought he lacked that creativity, so this is why he's getting a 5 out of 10. Bruno Fernandes, he's going to get a 2 out of 10. Like I said, was dispossessed 34 times in the game. Was very, very poor on the ball, and his delivery from set pieces was poor. Like I said earlier on, his worst game in a Manchester United shirt, without a doubt. Marcus Rashford, he's going to get a 3 out of 10. Like I said to you earlier on, runs on off the ball poor, couldn't really get any space in behind, and he's frustrated with himself. Juan Mata, he's going to get a 4 out of 10. He was very, very quiet in the game, was Juan Mata. Anthony Martial, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. Obviously, you know, did score the goal from the header. It was a good header, to be fair. Couldn't really hold the play up. Didn't really get enough service, did he? Martial hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to this season. Obviously, he's now back for the Premier League because his suspension's up, isn't it? He did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. Martial. He shouldn't have been sent off though. Paul Pogba, when he came on, 4 out of 10, didn't make an impact. Donny van der Beek came off, like I said earlier on, Donny van der Beek shouldn't have come off. We've criticised Paul Pogba a lot recently, haven't we? Obviously, he cost us the game against Arsenal because he was the one that gave the penalty when brought it to Bellerin down, and obviously Paul Pogba had to apologise for that. I think Paul Pogba will be leaving the football club next year anyway. I do believe that. Scott McTominay, when he came on, poor. 4 out of 10. Edinson Cavani, 4 out of 10 when he came on. Mason Greenwood, 5 out of 10 when he came on. So yeah, I don't think anyone played well for Manchester United. Now, our next game is Everton in the league. That is on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. And I think if we lose to Everton, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sacked as Manchester United manager. I think if we'd have had any other manager right now, I think they would have been gone by now. But the reason we've been so patient with Ole is because he is a legend of the club. Now, the Everton game, though, is going to be really, really tough. We've been beat at Goodison Park a few times in recent years. Obviously lost 4-0 at Goodison Park back in April 2019 under Ole. One of the heaviest defeats we've had under the Solskjaer era, that. We lost there 3-0 under the Louis van Gaal era and lost there 2-0 under the David Moyes era. Everton have obviously lost their last 2 games. Obviously, lost to Newcastle and Southampton, but I still think they look a much better team under Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti has been Everton manager now for almost a year. When Everton appointed him in, he signed a 4.5-year deal with them. Carlo Ancelotti has won around 15 major honours so far in his managerial career. So he has got a good pedigree behind him. Before Everton had Carlo Ancelotti, they had Duncan Ferguson. He was there temporary. Before that, they had Marco Silva. There was Paul under Marco Silva. Before, they've had Roberto Martinez. I thought they was good under Roberto Martinez. They obviously had Moyes at one point as well. He enjoyed around, was it 10 or 11 years with Everton. Everton made some good signings in the summer transfer window. They obviously brought James Rodriguez in. He's made an impact to them so far. They brought Decore in. They brought Allen in. They brought Ben Godfrey in. They brought Nkudu in. So there you go. And they've got other good players in their team. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They've got Richie Arlington. I think he's suspended though for the weekend. They've obviously got Bernard. They've got Alex Iwobi. They did have Theo Walcott, but they've loaned him out to Southampton. They've got Sigurdsson. They've got Andrea Gomez. I think Lucas Digne's a very, very good left back for them. Michael Keane's one of their centre halves. He's a former Man United player. They've obviously got Yerry Mina. They have Jordan Pickford in goal. To Everton. I think they've got a few injuries for the weekend, by the way. I think they've got Gab Main out. Mason Holgate's out. And they've got someone else out as well. And after the Everton game, it is the international break. But yeah, we have enjoyed a very, very poor start to the season. We've lost 3 of our first 6 Premier League games. All them defeats have come at Old Trafford It's our worst start at Old Trafford in around 50 years. And reflect on that, we are sitting 15th in the Premier League. You know, we are facing a relegation battle at the moment. And now we've just lost in the Champions League group stage to Istanbul, Basaksehir. So it's just getting worse at Manchester United. It really, really is. I think Ole is in the exact same position as what he was in at the first part of last season. Because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Ole was close to getting sacked by the football club. We've got to win on Saturday for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to save his job at Manchester United. Ole has laughed speculation off, saying that, you know, he could be sacked. You know, reflect on our 2-1 defeat to Istanbul, Basaksehir. This is Ole's second season at Manchester United, second full season, yeah. And I said this season he has to exceed his expectations if he's to remain in the Man United job. And I said he needs to guide us to a top 4 finish and win a trophy. And obviously he's not going to do that, you know, the way things are going. I definitely want us to win a trophy because we've not yet won all in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. In a lot of games at Man United, Ole's managed, you know, his team selections just being poor and that. You know what I mean? You know, Ole has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. He's been permanent Man United manager for around 19 months. And he has got a contract with the football club until 2022. But I think Ole's in a position that I shouldn't be in because I think the club made a mistake by giving him the job permanently. But we're giving the job permanently reflects on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. You know, Ole's managed 101 games now for Manchester United in all competitions. But like I've said to you, I want his managerial tenure to work out at the club, but I know it's not going to work out for him as manager of Manchester United because he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. You know, Manchester United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. You know, before he was with us, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mould. And before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff. He enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. He actually, you know, ended up getting Cardiff relegated, didn't he? But not all of the blame stems from Ole. You know, there's obviously players that have got to take responsibility. Obviously, a lot of United fans have been demanding the board out for a long time now. You know, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. And obviously, a lot of mistakes have been made in the last 7 years or so. And that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. In the summer transfer window, Solskjaer wasn't backed enough because we missed out on all of his priority targets. I don't think any of the managers have been backed enough that we've had since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. You know what I mean? But there's not all negativity regarding Solskjaer. You know, these positives to take from his tenure, like I've said before. I think he showed tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. He's made some good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, Ole spent over £200 million since he came into the club and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows. We've seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. I also like the way that Ole has promoted the youth. We've also had some good periods under him. Last season, Ole did well. You know, he got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us 3rd. The second highest we've finished since the Ferguson era. And, He also guided us to 3 semi-finals, and last season was Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. So they are the positives that you can take. Now, I think Manchester United's next manager will be Mauricio Pochettino. He's the favourite to take over. Now, Mauricio Pochettino was recently on Monday Night Football, and he says he's missing football and he wants to return to management. And, you know, Mauricio Pochettino's putting a hell of a lot of pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, Mauricio Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United after the sacking of Jose Mourinho. Now, there's been a few clubs that have been in for Pochettino: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Newcastle winning for him at one point. A few weeks ago, Zenit St. Petersburg were in talks with him. You know, he's been managerless now for like a year. Pochettino endured 5.5 years with Tottenham, didn't he? Analysing the vast majority of his tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Don't forget, last year he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. He guided them to 2 FA Cup semi-finals and guided them to the League Cup final, didn't he? And Pochettino is well proven in the Premier League. He's dealt with top players. My only element of concern about him is not won anything in terms of silverware. Obviously, before he was at Tottenham, he was at Southampton. He guided Southampton to their highest ever finish, but he did enjoy a short tenure with Southampton. Before he was at Southampton, he was at Espanyol, was Mauricio Pochettino. So far, he's managed 3 clubs in his managerial career. Obviously, he does mention that we've been looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to him, but got to say Pochettino is a better manager than Solskjaer, isn't he? Now, obviously, we sacked Solskjaer. He will be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was Moyes. Sacked him after 8.5, or was it 9 months? Sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, but we did win the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. You know what I mean? But, you know, we've spent a lot of money in the last 7 years or so on players. We spent nearly £1 billion and we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So people say, reflect on the money we've spent, we should be in much more of a commanding position than we are in. You know, we've also spent big on players in recent years. You know, 89 million for Pogba, 80 million for Maguire, 75 million for Lukaku, 52 million for Fred, 40 million for Matic, 50 million for Basaksehir. And we've also got players on big contracts at the football club. You know what I mean? But, you know, we haven't dominated English football since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, have we? You know. But if we do get, you know, Pochettino into the club, the question is he going to be backed by the board? I've already said I think Man United need to get a clear out. We need a new board and we need a new manager, because there's a lot of problems at the football club, isn't there? But like I've said to you before, there still isn't a philosophy, there isn't a system. Just know nothing whatsoever. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So there you go. And obviously we're making plans for next year, because next year we'll be looking to make a couple of more signings. We'll be looking to also offload more players next year, because there's still deadwood in the squad. You know, we shall see. I've already said it would be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of footballing, because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. Yeah. But got to agree with Roy Keane, what he said prior to this game. you know, he criticised, you know, Man United and the team and that. He says the players will end up costing Solskjaer his job. And he said that the squad's not good enough and we're lacking leaders. You know, Solskjaer disagreed with him in the press conference prior to the game, and so too did Harry Maguire. But Roy Keane is absolutely right what he's saying. Dion Dublin, you know, he says our defending's embarrassing. From the game yesterday, Paul Scholes has said it's like, what, under 10s defending. Absolutely shocking anyway. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.